Mankind is always attracted to the unseen world, finding from an undiscovered locations, abandoned places, what is under the sea, above the sea level, those places that he has not reached yet, not on the earth, also in the spaces, moons, stars, portals, going through the portals to enter spaces that he has never been yet or never been met. Other world has always been a fascinating and very interesting topic for all of us. This universe is very big and is a miracle. It is that big that even God challenges mankind and jinns and asks them to discover the universe. And one of the chapter, as always, in Quran, the most merciful, it says, Ya ma'ashar al-jinni wal-ins. It is addressing to the jinns and the assembly of jinns and the mankind. Penetrate beyond the realm of the heavens and the earth. If you can do so, then do it. But you cannot do that without His authority, without the authority of the Creator. It is unimaginably, or it is unbelievably so big. Jinns, they are, as they are created with the fire, so they are aggressive in nature and they can fly. Some of the jinns, they can travel with the speed of light. Some of the jinns, they are a little bit slower. There are so many kinds, but one thing is for sure, human being, the human eye, they cannot see them. Similarly, in some of the animals, God has given them the ability to see the unseen, which human eye cannot see. So these are the mysteries, these are the secrets of the universe. They are kept for some reasons. Similarly, jinns, they cannot see the angels. Wherever we are living, in the cities or wherever humans are, we are surrounded by countless jinns. Even right now, so many jinns, they watch us. We shouldn't forget they have all kind of faiths, and they are so good jinns and they are so bad jinns, just like human beings. Those, they are very good jinns. Sometimes they also show themselves as we can see them. If they want us to see them, they have ability to show themselves to us. So today I'm going to share with you two stories how sometimes jinns, they can show themselves to a human being in a friendly gesture or in a good gesture. So stick with me. They are very short stories. Welcome to another episode on the Shocking Mystery on the Mirror. I'm your host, Uzair Sipra. Now the first story is very interesting. One of our viewer sent me this story, and I actually believe in this story. He was living in Dubai, and this is somewhere in 1998. He just moved to Dubai just 2 months ago, and after 2 months, within these 2 months, he made so many friends. As they go for Jummah prayer, the Friday prayer, and he met some people and then he made some friends. One of the friends, he got close to him. They started to hang around, eat together, and share their life together. And on some point they started to talk about the unseen. I'm talking about the jinns. And he said, I have a friend, every Friday he has some jinn comes to his body and talk to people. This is another way to interact with people. I'm talking about the jinns. And he said, on every Friday around the third prayer, which is Asr, he has the group of people, they visit him, and he is sitting there talking to different people, and people know that he has a jinn inside his body. It's not like he is possessed. Possession is something, some jinns, they forcefully, with a force, they enter into someone's body to harm others. Now this is different. So he said, okay, I want to experience, and I'm very much interested in the unseen world. He said, okay, Then we schedule our meetup. How about next Friday? So they set the time. He talked to the person, and after prayer, they went to his home. Now, this is the time. He said, it is almost the time. Mr. Jinn is almost arriving. Everybody, now there are almost 4 to 5 people are there. Now, this is a special meetup, especially made for few friends. It's not for like 10 or 20 people. They are here to meet Mr. Jinn. He said, we are sitting there, and he asked me to buy 2 pack of cigarettes, 2 packets of cigarettes. Now each pack have 20 cigarettes, so there are the 40 cigarettes. So why cigarette? He said, just do it what I say. He bought 20 cigarettes, 2 packs, and he had a flour that we baked the bread. He took some flour and made a small bowl of flour and put some olive oil in it, and he removed the shirt, lie down, and he put that small bowl on the top of his belly button, and he lit the fire. Now this was very strange act. He lit the fire, and as fire started to rise, suddenly some air entered into the house. He said he was sitting beside the entrance, so if something happened, so he can run away. He started to have changes on his face. His eye color changed, very dark, and all the veins started to pop up. And he sat down, and his voice changed, very heavy voice. Assalamu alaikum. This is what he said. Exactly. Assalamu alaikum. And everybody is so scared. Oh my god, this is Muslim Jinn. Okay, wa alaikum assalam. And he's looking at everybody, and then he opened 1 pack of cigarette, and he took out 1 cigarette and he lit it, and then within 1 or 2 seconds he said he put a hand like this, and then in 2-3 seconds the whole cigarette was gone, and all the ash just fell on his hand, and then he ate it up. He ate all the ash and like a candy, and then looked at everybody. How are you doing? And everybody, yeah, we are good, Mr. Jinn. We are okay. How are you? And then this time he took almost 4 cigarettes altogether, and then put it in the mouth and lit it, and then again the whole 4 of them in few seconds were gone. All the ash was on his hand, and then this time he used his tongue to lick all the ash and ate it up. This time he smiled. Maybe he had some, wow, I ate a very good cigarette, this is a good brand. And then again he looked at everybody, and this time he took 8 cigarettes together. So eventually he finished all 2 packs, 40 cigarettes. And then he sat down like this, and he said, I was thinking in my heart that, wow, this must be a drug addicted Jinn. So he's been on the drugs. He said, okay, you don't do that, you should do this, and you should do that. You don't do this, and this is your problem. If you want to get rid of this problem, you should do this. And he's telling everybody what to do, what not to do, and he's telling them their names, their family background, and everything. And he was so scared, and he said he looked at me and he started to stare at me very seriously.
Now you.
And when he pointed the finger at him, and he said, okay, now I'm gone. Now he already like a bookmarked me. Now I am already his target. The way he's looking at me, he didn't look at it at anybody. The way he looked at me. Now okay,
You've been here for 2 months. If you want to earn more money, you do this and you recite this verse, this part, and I'm very happy to see all of you guys.
but the scary point he shared, I never seen any human in my life. The way he smoked all the cigarette. Okay, this is one of the part that if I practice so much to inhale all the cigarette in one puff or in one, I can do that with a lot of practice. But then the final thing what he did was unbelievable. And then he said his all veins started to pop up, and it was so scary to see his whole neck, the veins, they were so much visible, and his hands veins were, because he was shirtless. Finally the time came, he started to rise, levitate himself. He started to rise in the air. He was floating in the air for just 2-3 seconds, and then he fell. When he fell, and then he dropped on the bed, and everybody was so scared, terrified at this moment. How in the world is possible for a man to levitate himself? He is floating in the air for a few seconds, and then he fell. And then we all felt the door moved like this. After a few seconds, he got up and he got his shirt on, and he asked all of us what happened. It means he didn't know anything about it. He had no idea what happened to him and what Mr. Jinn he was talking to anybody. Then those friends, they told him that he was doing this, he was doing that, and they asked him, why don't you know whatever happened? He said, I really don't know. I can tell you it started few years ago. And he didn't tell how it started, and that is a mystery till this day. Now this second story is also very interesting, as we are talking about the good jinns, or those jinns, they have a faith, and then they intentionally want to interact with humans in a friendly gesture or in a good way. Now this one also with one of my cousin who is already passed away, and it used to happen with him on every Muslim festival, which is Eid al-Adha or Eid al-Fitr. So on every year, my cousin, because he's used to do the exorcism, lead the prayers, teach people Quran. On the same time, he was a professor in a university. So he had this encountering every year, sometime twice a year, sometime once a year. This female jinn, she used to come to him and gift him, as he used to describe, that he has made a sister jinn. Now we were sitting there in his house, and he said, she's coming, I'm going to my room. And his wife, she is a bit jealous, and she says that, yeah, I know who is coming, go on. And then we all are feeling so strange, who is coming? And he said, okay, if I tell you, I'm afraid you will be scared, so it's better I go inside and I'll come back in few minutes. Everybody thought that somebody's coming from outside. And when he said that she already have arrived in the room, I go inside and then say, what are you talking about? Nobody has entered in the house. We are sitting just near the entrance. And what are you talking about? And then his wife, our sister-in-law, she said, yeah, I tell you, he has a sister who visits him every Eid, sometimes twice a Eid, and she brings along with some gifts. Now that was interesting. Okay, we want to see her. If this is your sister, we also want to call her sister. That is our sister as well. Why don't you let us meet her as well? He said, okay. So, but before this, I would suggest you to read this Quranic verse. So that specific Quranic verse, everybody, they recited, and then everybody witnessed that one shadow started to appear in front of everybody in a very round shape, and he is talking to her, Assalamu alaikum, how are you, sister? And then he is talking like a normally we talk to each other, but nobody can hear the voice of that female jinn, but he can. He talked to her for a few minutes, and then he said, okay, that's very good, you don't have to do that every year, every time. And then he said, okay, you're leaving, and then she's saying assalamu alaikum to all of you, and we say, okay, wa alaikum assalam. First everybody thought that this kind of a joke or something, but the way he was doing, he is not the guy who used to joke around. He's a professor and he's like a scholar. Many people come to visit him to study Quran, and in the masjid, in the mosque, he leads the prayer and he does exorcism. This is why everybody believed. And then she is gone. When she is gone, the shadow in the circle started to vanish. Before it was a very dark shadow in a circle, and then started to become lighter, and then vanished. When it was gone, in a blink of a second, we discovered there is one purse, a man purse, a very beautiful, in a box. And then he opened it, there was a man purse. Logic behind it and is very strange, because these kind of things, jinns, they don't need these kind of things. Like, they don't need purses. Their custom is like humans, but they have a different way of life. Similar customers, they have a cultures, they have jobs, they have things, they can they also have arguments, just like we do the arguments. They talk to each other. But these purses, these kind of, for example, they don't need cars, they fly very fast. They don't need bikes, they don't need airplanes. So those kind of things, they don't need it. Similarly, like purses, they don't need it. They also eat, but how they eat, God has provided them food with the bones. And that is another topic. If we go deep to learn about the jinns, their life, their lifestyles, then we can talk some other days. But this was so different, because the logic behind it, these jinns, when they don't need these kind of things like purses, those transportations, they collect these items from the abandoned places, from those places where humans, they throw them, or nobody used it. As she was a Muslim jinn, stealing is also not allowed. So they collect those things, and then sometimes those jinns, sometimes we are at our home, and then we say, oh, where did I put that thing? Where that thing has gone? I just put it here, I cannot find it anymore. And sometimes we never find that thing again. So these were the two stories I put it for you. And if you are a fan of strange, dark, mysterious, true crimes stories, if you have your own story, just like one of the viewer, he shared with me this story which I narrated with you today. If you have your own story, please share with me on my Instagram, which is uzair.sipra. And as always, please take care of yourself and your surrounding. Until next time.